Morning. It's good to be with you on this Friday morning as we get ready for a great weekend. Hope you've got big plans for the weekend. I don't think I have any plans, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a busy few weeks here, but I think I've got to come to the church tomorrow and work on a few things, but nothing big. That's very exciting. I can't wait to do nothing tomorrow morning. Maybe sleep in. What a wonderfully exciting life I'll lead. I get to sleep in on a Saturday morning. What greater joy is there than that? So today we're going to pick up with Galatians chapter 5. We're going to be reading verse 2 through verse 15. So Galatians 5, 2 through 15. Listen, I, Paul, am telling you that if you let yourself be circumcised, Christ is of no benefit to you. Once again, I testify to every man who lets himself be circumcised that he's obligated to obey the entire law. You who want to be justified by the law have cut yourselves off from Christ. You have fallen from grace. For through the Spirit, by faith, we eagerly wait for the hope of righteousness. For in Christ, neither circumcision nor uncircumcision counts for anything. The only thing that counts is faith working through love. Come on now. That'll preach. The only thing that counts is faith working through love. We could stay there for a while and just unpack that verse, couldn't we? In fact, we may spend some time on that one today. You are running well. Who prevented you from obeying the truth? Such persuasion does not come from the one who calls you. A little yeast leavens the whole batch of dough. I am confident about you in the Lord that you will not think otherwise. But whoever it is there that is confusing you will pay the penalty. But my friends, why am I still being persecuted if I'm still preaching circumcision? In that case, the offense of the cross has been removed. I wish that those who unsettle you would castrate themselves. Once again, our boy Paul. See, do you see how Paul really gets fired up? There's some stuff in the Bible that you don't expect. I bet if you had not pre-read this passage, you wouldn't think, hey, is Paul going to tell those people causing trouble to castrate themselves? You probably didn't think that to yourself today, did you? But yet here you are. You find yourselves early on Friday morning, driving to work, probably maybe listening to the podcast or watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, and you're saying, hey, did Andy just quote Paul and the Holy Scriptures saying, I hope they castrate themselves? Yes, he did. Thanks, Paul. So we'll unpack that in just a second. For you are called to freedom, brothers and sisters. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for self-indulgence, but through law become slaves to one another. For the whole law is summed up in one single command: you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. If, however, you bite and devour one another, take care that you're not consumed by one another. Okay, so Paul here is basically saying, listen, guys, if you want to live by the law, if that is your choice, if that's what you want to do, then you're in trouble because you're going to have to keep all of it. You're going to have to keep all of it. Once again, I testify to every man who lets himself be circumcised that he is obligated to obey the entire law. You who want to be justified by the law have cut yourselves off from Christ. You have fallen for grace, from grace. Paul's saying that if you want to live by the law, you've got to keep it all. And you've already seen, you've already proved, you already understand that you can't do it. You've tried to live by the law. You've tried to be good enough. You tried to hold every command. You tried to obey every command. You've tried that and it didn't work. So why now are you doing it again? Why are you doing it again? And then he says, listen, circumcision doesn't matter. Uncircumcision doesn't matter. That's missing the point. The only thing that matters is faith working through love. No, it's not even faith. He doesn't say only that matters is faith. No, he didn't say that. What does he say? The only thing that matters is faith working itself through love. Then what does he say at the end of it? He said, for the whole law is summed up in a single commandment: you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay? For Paul, if you want to focus on keeping the law, don't focus on circumcision. You want to focus on Christian life, Christian ethics. Don't get caught up in denominations. In Christ, neither circumcision nor uncircumcision counts for anything. In Christ, neither Baptist, nor Methodist, nor Presbyterian, nor Pentecostal, nor Catholic, nor Episcopalian counts for anything. The only thing that counts is faith working through love. In Christ, worship style doesn't matter. In Christ, doctrine apart from orthodoxy doesn't matter. In Christ, all these things don't matter. But what matters, what counts, is faith working itself through love. That's it. That's what the law demands. So if you're gonna, friends, if you're gonna focus on keeping the law, that's the law you focus on keeping, love. For the command, for the whole law is summed up in a single commandment. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. If you're gonna keep the law, that's the law you keep. That is the whole of the law is to love your neighbor. That's it, y'all. It's not legalism. It's not moralism. It's not dotting every I and crossing every T. It's not always getting it right. That's not it. In fact, that's why Paul's so frustrated. He's like, those of you confusing you, focusing on circumcision, focusing on dates and things like that, they're missing the point. If they're asking you to be circumcised, I wish they'd castrate themselves. That's what he says. My friends, why am I still being persecuted if I'm preaching circumcision? In that case, the offenses of the cross has been removed. I wish those who unsettle you would castrate themselves. He's saying, guys, you're missing the point, and those who are doing you harm are throwing you into confusion. They're unsettling you. He's pulling it back to the essentials. Paul is stripping away all the noise. He's stripping away all the confusion. He's stripping away all of these things. And he says this, what matters, what counts is faith working through love. For the whole law was summed up in a single commandment, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, Paul is saying that he does tell us this, though. Don't use your freedom as an opportunity for indulgence rather, but become slaves of one another. You are free. You are free in Christ. You are free. You're not bound by the law. You're free, but you're not. You're free. But he says we're to be a slave to each other. So yeah, I am free, but I'm not free because I'm bound to you. What I do affects you. My actions affect you. My words affect you. How I live affects you. How I teach affects you. Who I am affects you. We are free, but we're not completely free because we are bound to each other. But the bonds we share are the bonds of love. That's what binds us together is love. The love we have for each other, the love we have for Jesus. It is that love. We love our neighbor as we love ourselves. That is what holds us together. We are bound together through love. So today you have been set free. You're not bound by the law. You don't have to follow the moral code of the Levitical Levitical code of what to eat and what not to eat. You're free from that. You don't have to follow all those type things. But the moral law, the love of God and love of neighbor, we're still bound to that. We're still bound to that's the law. That's the law. If you're going to worry about keeping the law today, if you're going to worry about holding true and holding fast to God's law, that's the law to focus on. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. The only thing that counts is faith working through love. That's the law we strive to keep. That's the law we strive to keep. Through God's grace, may it be so. May we keep this, what James calls the royal law. May we keep this law, that law of love. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you bright and early Monday. Have a great weekend.